down. That's just good, sensible health and safety information.
That's like saying fuck looking both ways before I cross the road.
Screw penicillin.
I know.
No, do you know what? I'm going to drink and I am going to use threshing machinery, and I don't give a damn. I love that about teenagers, that kind of screw you sort of mentality, but not, it's kind of blind, isn't it? It just, anything's a target, anything's valid.
When I was a teenager, I think maybe 17, I had a t-shirt. I was rallying against just stuff, really. It was slightly more abstract than the Gap. I wasn't specifically against the Gap, but it just said bullshit. Just in general, bullshit.
You were raging against the machine.
I would just go, people say, hey, what are you... I just open my... I go, bullshit, all right? Just bullshit.
But I assume that these forms of protest have never made any dent in anything in the world. Because I remember when there were all these protests against the war, a couple of months back, and there was one guy, so there was a huge march in London, as you know, and they did these all around the world, didn't they? But there was hundreds, thousands of people in London. There was one guy, he was riding around on a three-wheeled bike, wearing a jester's hat, blowing a horn. That was his form of protest against the war.
Was it like, what sort of horn was it?
It was one of those sort of hunting horns.
Well, he was showing him, he was saying, this is what I believe.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't change people's opinions, I don't know what will.
But I like the idea of Bush, just about to invade Iraq, and just the news comes through from his chief of staff.
And then Bush goes,
George.
What is it?
What? No, listen, we've got some information coming in from London.
Go on.
I know you're thinking of invading Iraq.
Definitely, why?
Well, let's just think about it, because there's a guy riding around on a three-wheeled bike. He's not got the regular two, he's gone for three wheels. So...
Okay, well listen, what's he wearing?
I don't want to tell you what he's wearing, he's just...
What's he wearing on his head?
He's wearing his... he's wearing a jester's hat.
Okay, no, calm down, it's not that bad. It's not going to change my opinion about...
He's blowing a horn.
Okay, get the troops out. Get the troops out now. What do they think?
You've got to get involved in the... I saw a girl once again, a teenage girl, I was up behind her on the tube, and she had this bag, like a rucksack, and it was kind of black, and it had... painted in Tipex, it had a picture of George Bush, but he was kind of in the sights of a rifle, and it sort of said "Stop the War," and it had a Barbie's head, but it was severed, and the hair was scraped back, and she'd been made up to look kind of devilish, and there were sort of CND signs, and there was "No to war" and all this, and I sort of wanted to tap her on the shoulder and say, are you actually getting involved in stopping the war, or have you been working mainly on this bag?
Yeah,
because that must have taken you at least a couple of days. Where you could have been writing emails, you could have been getting a petition going.
Oh dear.
Carl, have you ever been into that sort of teenage rebellion, teenage protest?
What, to sort of stop stuff going on?
Yeah. Or just making your views heard.
I don't really like people knowing what I'm thinking and that.
Right.
There's no way anyone can know what you're thinking.
No, but
even
is that what you're doing on a radio show, where you spout off your nonsense ideas every week?
No, but what I mean is...
A team of surgeons could fiddle around in your head for a couple of days and they still wouldn't know what you were thinking. No, I know what you're thinking. Exactly. You're thinking, could a monkey ever be president at this moment, aren't you?
But I don't like anyone that... Like all those badges that you're talking about, Save the Whale and all that. I don't like the idea that when I get on a tube and someone sees that, they sort of know that I want to save the whale. I don't like people knowing, even to the point of...
It gives you a disadvantage in life, doesn't it?
But just knowing stuff like when you get on a tube and say if you've been shopping, right, and you've had to buy an ironing board, I hate it that people sort of look at what you've got and go, oh, he's doing some ironing.
Right, okay. That's got to be rare. I mean, you can't have bought more than 5 or 6 ironing boards in your life.
I don't mean just ironing boards. I mean anything big where they can't wrap it, so they just put a carrier bag round a little bit of it, and everyone can see what you've just bought.
It's weird because I bought an ironing board last week from Argos, and I did feel a little bit self-conscious.
There you go.
Because I thought people thinking, he's 30, why hasn't he got an ironing board yet?
Yeah.
He's a scruffy bastard.
I pretend I'm going surfing whenever I buy an ironing board. I just make sure I go in Bermuda shorts and sunglasses. And I just walk down the street surfing USA, and they think, hey, there's a dude going to the beach. I pop on a bus, go and do some ironing.
Yeah. Wait, what's that on his t-shirt? Bullshit. He's radical. I get still faintly embarrassed buying toilet paper.
Yeah. I always have to buy something else to go with it.
Yeah.
I don't like, because if you just buy that on its own, if you buy it on its own, it's obvious that you're dying for one.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm dying. Whereas if you just chuck it in with a pot noodle, it's like, well, he's eating and he's thinking about later. But
If you buy one on its own, you know that you've got none in the house and you've just rushed across the street to get some. Especially if you're still in your slippers.
Well, that's about it for another podcast, and a new one in a week's time after Christmas. So, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Have an absolutely blinding Christmas.
Or a lovely whatever festival you celebrate in your part of the world. From Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant and Karl Pilkington.
If you want to send us anything, as ever, the email address is podcast@rickygervais.com. You can email just your thoughts on the show, if you've got some monkey news for Karl, or anything you think might intrigue Karl, or indeed maybe just some Christmas wishes. Then that's the email address, podcast@rickygervais.com.
I would like to wish a particularly Merry Christmas to those guys at Positive Internet for all their genius input and good work hosting this podcast. Goodbye.
Merry Christmas.
The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited.
As Bill Shankly once said, some people think football is a matter of life and death. I assure you, it's much more serious than that. The World Cup is the most watched sporting event in the world, with 32 teams battling it out for the most coveted prize in football. For the first time in history, an African nation will host the tournament this year. Seen as controversial by some, and by others as an example of soccer's ability to be progressive and inspiring. How will England fare? Which teams are the front runners, and who are the rank outsiders? To discuss the beautiful game, I'm joined by Stephen Merchant, award-winning writer and graduate of the University of Warwick. Hello. And Karl Pilkington, a man with a head like a fucking football. An orange one. All right, I'm finished. Cut!
All right.
What are you doing?
Try calming your gums down.
We don't do it with water.
What do you do it with? You're trying
You
to
do,
calm
it
your gums
with,
down.
you do it with meditation and hard drugs.
What's the problem with your gums?
When I'm stressed out, my teeth know.
What? What do you mean?
Say that again.
When I'm sort of stressed out, my gums and my teeth know before I do. It's like a weakness.
So what's up? You got a toothache then? I thought you went to the dentist.
I did the other week.
Well, what's wrong with your teeth then? It's just because you're stressed.
I don't know.
Why are you stressed? What have you got to be stressed
I
about?
don't know. That's what's weird with stress, isn't it?
No.
Your body can be stressed without you realising. That's what
No,
kills people.
stress. No. You're stressed because you feel stressed, and then your body gets weak because you're.
No, because I'm pretty good. I never feel stressed. That's part of my problem.
It's not
I
a
am
problem.
stressed, but I don't know about it. That's
That
why
doesn't make any sense at all.
it's number one killer.
What? You never get stressed. If you don't feel stressed, how are you stressed?
But you must be stressed if your teeth
Right.
are
It's
telling you
like
you're stressed.
saying I didn't feel I had a pain, but apparently I did.
Listen,
Go on.
I was in Israel recently. I had a bag put over my head, chucked in the back of the van. Now the thing is, I kind of thought, well,
It wasn't a blind date, by the way, and he wasn't being arrested or kidnapped. It was a training thing, wasn't it, for
yes,
kidnap
but I
situations?
didn't know.
What, you didn't know they were going to do it?
No, they don't tell me anything, do they?
That's good.
So what happened then?
So the thing is, that happened. I had a panic on a little bit. Afterwards, they took the bag off. I realised everything was all right. I was calm, but my body was shaking. And that's what
That
I'm saying
doesn't
to
make
you.
any sense.
My body, as far as my body was concerned, it had just been kidnapped.
Right.
But I knew I hadn't. Anyway, football.
You know the bag they put over your head? Was it like a tennis racket cover? What shape was it?
You sure they just didn't go and thought, oh, I thought I'd just bought the world's biggest orange?
Come on, let's do this.
Right.
Soccer.
Yeah.
The World Cup
We thought
2010.
we'd jump on the bandwagon with every other fucker who's doing a World Cup podcast.
Yeah.
Even though we've got nothing to say about it.
Whoa!
What?
I got a few things.
Yeah, but it's going to be so disappointing. We're going to get excited. We're going to sit down. In fact, if you're listening to this now, England are probably out of the fucking World Cup.
I disagree with you. I'm right behind the lads.
Yeah? Right, okay.
But do you remember, because I've watched the World Cup a few times with Ricky, in different projects we've been doing in the past, we've been in different situations. Do you remember when, I think the last time we qualified, we were doing a project, and we watched it together in a hotel room.
We're watching extras, right? And
We're making extras.
Making extras, yeah. And we watched it. So I go to my room. I went to Steve's room. But, of course, in the hotel room, it was just like a big bed. So we sat on the bed together, and we thought that was a bit intense. So I put a line of pillows down.
But I don't understand what... he was putting a line of pillows between us. Now, he knows I'm not going to jump on it.
No, I know.
He's not going to jump on me.
No.
But he's still terrified that some kind of paparazzi is going to sort of parascend down the building and peer in and take a photo of us. And that's before we've got time to explain that we're just watching the football. It's already printed going, well, this is clearly evidence of their game. Yeah. There's no way that they could possibly be sat on a bed just as friends.
No, but hold on, though. Why were we naked? Why didn't we just pop some trousers on?
But I seem to remember that you, even though it was my room, you forced me to sit in the chair. There was one of those really uncomfortable box chairs.
I said it's weird, I can't get excited, we're having a beer, okay? So now we're drinking. Now we're drinking in bed. On the bed. No. We had our clothes on. We're on the bed watching football, but I couldn't go, come on England, with a little man sitting next to me in bed.
Not little man at all.
No, big man. And so I just thought, let's pop the pillows down. That wasn't enough. I said, Steve, I can't do this. I can't watch football with a man on a bed. I said, so go in the chair. And he sat in
I sat in this chair, which is, for a man of my size, those tiny little crappy hotel box chairs are no good. It's 90 bloody minutes plus the interview. It was my room. I was furious.
I felt like I was, like an old rich man just waiting to die, and my little manservant used to come and sit and watch football with me in the last days of my time. I'm in bed going, oh, it's gone again. He goes, all right, I'm up later. Look, Rooney's taking a penalty. No, it's gone, it's all out. I go, oh dear, so, oh, yeah, let me clean it up. We can put this on pause, it's Sky Plus.
Let's open a window.
Yeah.
But the thing is that often I think football fans are very homoerotic. They're hugging each other, jumping on each other, swapping shirts and stuff. So there's nothing wrong with it being intimate watching a football game.
Yeah, but I don't think gay people do that. Gay people don't run around hugging each other and swapping shirts, do they? They get stuck in. Carl, would you sit on a bed, right, with Stephen in a hotel room, right, watching football, okay? You're pouring each other wine and beer and shouting.
Well, no, there wasn't that music playing. There was the roar of the crowd and John Moxon doing commentary. It's not a sexy sound at all.
What do you think, Carl? Someone said, "Oh, come to my room. We're watching football." You got there and he went.
Well, who was on the bed first? Who was on the bed first?
Well, he probably got up to answer the door. So I don't know. I came in. I thought, well, there's only a bed here. We sat down. We thought, yeah.
No, but it wasn't. It was a chair there.
So, well, yeah, but you know full well that if you're in a room with Ricky, he's the one who's going to leap straight on the bed and demand that you...
I'll just take the chair.
Well, why would you be concerned with lying on a bed next to me?
What's up with that?
It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Why is it weird? I don't understand this.
Because
I'm changing with you.
it's a bit weird lying on a bed with a mate, just watching football.
Yeah, you don't like when you go around the house, do you?
Yeah, but it's because you have a sofa and things. We didn't have that in the room.
Yeah, but when you visit someone in hospital, you don't say, move over. You don't pop yourself down next to him, you sit on the chair next to him.
No, because you're not there in a relaxed situation for 90 minutes enjoying a game of sport. It's just a more formal environment. Because you're quite a sport fan, aren't you, Carl?
Yeah, but not in... I don't like getting into things too much because it can only be disappointing.
I've never seen him get into anything, to be quite honest.
No, I am a football fan, but I've got it now to a point where if they lose, it only bothers me for about half an hour.
Yeah.
And then I move on. Because the thing is, I'm not in control of it. There's nothing I can do to alter that team. If I could go in and say, listen, you're lazy, you get your finger out, you move up front, but it's different. But it's totally... It's like getting annoyed with nature. There's nothing you can do. So let it happen, watch it if you want, but don't get annoyed about it, because it's totally out of your hands.
Interesting that Carl's team tactics also sounds like he could be directing a gay porn. You get your finger out, you get up front. You're lazy.
That's amazing. What do you think of these people, though? I love it that everyone's an expert, everyone's a pundit. You see these fat people in pubs going, well, he's lost a few yards up front. Yeah, you fucking score a goal then, fatty.
Wearing a football top.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Exactly, yeah.
They shouldn't make them for them. Shouldn't make them in that size. It should be one size only. If you're fit enough to play football, you can wear one. If you're a fatty, you're not. It looks ridiculous anyway.
But what's that? What are you talking about?
So you're a big fat slob with his belly out in an England shirt going, I could score from there. Go on then, let's have a go.
Hey, listen, calm down. Don't be slagging off the fans, because that's what it's all about. Football's all about the supporters, isn't it? You know, let's not forget these people paid millions to entertain us. If we want to drink till we're fat and eat pork pies and then put on an England shirt, we'll do it.
Well,
that is the British way, that is the English way, that is what we won a war for.
What difference does it make if we win or lose? That's what I always look at, the end result.
How can you say you like football and then give us that argument? The only reason to watch football is the excitement of the challenge.
Yeah, it's entertainment.
No,
it is
and
entertainment.
a bit of skill. It's nice to see a bit of skill.
But
that was clever.
because it's entertaining.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, enjoy the game for what it is and then forget about it. If Fat Bob in the pub, he's got his football top on, he gets all annoyed when England, lose.
Yeah.
What difference does it make? What difference does it make if they lose there or lose in the final?
Well,
What's the point?
Well, I'll tell you what difference it makes. I knew a Fat Bob, okay? That wasn't his name, but I'm changing the name to protect the innocent and him. And he's not innocent, right?
Was it Fat Dave?
It was a big fat bloke, right? And he worked on one of the crews that used to bring in equipment where I used to work at the Students' Union, okay? And it was massive, right? And I think it was 1990 or 1992, the Euro, right, when England got knocked out, and he went mental. And he was so angry, he went out and he wanted retribution, okay? Luckily, there were no German people around, but the closest he could find was a sausage van, some poor bloke who delivered sausages, and he turned it over. He got the van and he turned it over, because it was selling sausages, so he thought, that's German enough.
No, well, if he's fat, he's probably just annoyed that it wasn't open.
Very excited because Peter Crouch is in the tournament. Now, Peter Crouch...
You identify with him, don't you?
I love Crouchy. He's exactly the same height as me, 6'7".
He's sort of lanky and awkward looking.
Right, but brilliant. I mean, still a very... let's not forget that he is playing in the national squad.
Yeah.
He is a striker. He's got excellent track record of scoring for England. Admittedly, maybe not in the super top important games, but nevertheless... Tremendous.
He's like your role model. He's like your pin-up.
He wrote an autobiography, which I was going to call my autobiography, Tall Stories. Crouchy got there first, but good luck to him. I give it to him.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him to do that. I once got someone who came up to me in a club once and said, "Are you Peter Crouch?" I said, "Yeah." I thought, she thinks I'm Crouchy. What's the problem? Well, let's see how far we can get with this before the truth will out. But I was disappointed.
I didn't know you wore glasses.
No, exactly. I'm sort of off duty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't wear it on the field.
Do you think he'd have had a different career if he'd have worn glasses from the age of 5, like you?
This is one of the reasons I've not been a great footballer. Have you ever seen me doing any form of athletics or sport?
No.
Because I like to think I look quite elegant. I feel like I'm actually in control of it. But when I look back, if someone's videoed it, I look like one of those giant costumes in It's a Knockout. Where the arms are flapping and they just fall over.
No real expression on their head. Yeah.
But one of the things I was disappointed at, I was looking at, because obviously around this time of the year there's lots of advertising because the footballers are all getting endorsements. And I was looking to see what each one was doing. And Wayne Rooney, he's got endorsement deals with Nike, with Nokia, Coca-Cola. Lampard, Pepsi and Adidas. Peter Crouch, you know what he's advertising?
Go on.
Pringles. It's not the coolest one, is it? Pringles. I mean, even the name Pringles.
Really? No. It's sort of like an insult, isn't it?
It is.
Who's that Pringle? Is that
Crouchy?
No, it's Steve Merchant.
I love Pringles.
Yeah.
And I'm pleased to see Crouch is associated, but I was disappointed.
Don't bother mentioning Pringles thinking you'll get some free Pringles, because he went on about Munches and then we got another fucking sniff.
Oh, true.
What do you think of that, Carl?
But are you a fan of Crouchy? You must be...
They're all much of a muchness. Honestly, I didn't want to come in here and start talking about football. I'll watch it
What do you mean you want to come in here and say, what a thing to say?
What?
Imagine going in and going, hello, welcome to BBC, I didn't want to be here today, talk about football, fed up, I've got better things to do.
No, but it's something you talk about. I mean, it's ridiculous coming in here talking about it before we've even kicked a ball. Who knows what's going to happen? If there's one thing that's good about it, it's that, innit? Not knowing.
Well, that's what I don't understand. I don't understand all this punditry, where we have a 3-hour build-up, then they talk about half-time, then they talk about it for half hour afterwards. I mean, for me, it's like, it's kick-off, who won? They did, 3-1. All right, cheers, let's get on with work.
But also, we like the whinging after. We are, this country loves a moan. They love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Love a good moan. I don't know how we'd be if we won. We'd go, all right, what was he talking about?
Yeah.
See, back in 1966, people weren't as miserable.
No?
Okay, hang on, I'd like to hear this theory extrapolated.
Well, they weren't, were they? People were, the war had happened, like, not that long ago.
Right.
People getting on with it, 66, everyone's smart, you dressed up if you went out, they weren't on as much money.
The
Footballers. It was just a game of football. Whereas now, it's like all this build-up going on. Just get on with it. I'm sick of it, honestly, I'm sick and tired of hearing about it.
I'm with you. I do think it's ridiculous that there's a match and the programme before, it's like 2 hours before it and then an hour afterwards.
Well, that's just a shameless attempt to keep people... I mean, let's be honest, you and I have been guilty of being involved with that, haven't we? We've done various little skits and sketches in the past.
But that's fun. I mean, we do that for us, not for them.
Yeah.
I don't care whether people like it or not. I did it because it was fun. I dressed up you and a dwarf. The day doesn't get better than that.
Well, I was in a pub watching that year, and I'd forgotten that we'd done that, or at least that it was going to be shown that day. So I'm in this pub, it's rammed, obviously, and that comes on, the turns on the big screen, and suddenly that's that sketch, right? A couple of things with me. One, no one was paying attention. I was furious. I was thinking there's a couple of good-looking birds here. Look, at least, fucking look at those. Me in the sketch was Ricky Gervais and Warwick Davis. I'm playing country. No one, not paying attention. The few that were, not amused at all. Could not. My mother, of course, famously said that's the funniest thing you've ever done, which means not talking about 20 minutes. No one in the pub seemed interested. And then a few people looked round, looked at me, looked at the screen, sort of shrugged, carried on going. Nothing. But also, kind of, it is embarrassing, that situation.
I was on a flight, internal flight in America, and on the internal flights, you don't get individual screens. They give you individual players, but there's also screens all down the aisle for people. Right, where Ghost Town was on. Ooh. Looked over, someone watching extras, and I had to make sure that at no point did I glance up at the screen like he's watching himself, and make sure I flicked over whenever it came up The Office or extras.
Yeah, if I'm on the tube and I'm flipping through the paper, sometimes there'll be an interview with you that I'm not aware is going to be in the paper, and I have to flip on by because I don't want to bloke on the tube going, reading about your mate, are you? Don't get enough of him, do you? You need to read it, you know what I mean?
Carl,
have you been recognised? Do you ever get recognised much?
Yeah, now and again, but I haven't done anything of any worth. However, it's almost like recognising a neighbour or something, because they sort of go, oh, it's him, and then the other one might go, what's he do? Oh, I don't know. It's not like I've done something
of any worth
yet.
Yeah.
None of us don't think of any worth. It's all relative to the entertainment industry. Whatever you think of The Office, I'm very proud of it, but I haven't secured a bunker in enemy territory. I haven't given a kidney away. Do you know what I mean? It's all relative. It's just, did you entertain anyone? Did you, bring a smile to someone's face? Was it a laugh? I think you're forgetting all those emails I pass on to you for those people that have had traumas in their lives. The earthquake victim. There's people that have lost relatives or had, terrible life-threatening diseases, and they say the podcast got them through. Doesn't that warm the cockles of your heart?
Well, normally it's gone straight to you, hasn't it? And you just forwarded me on, so it's almost like spam to me. It doesn't feel as special because it's like, here you go, look at this,
Unbelievable. I've got the new iPad. I've had it for a few months actually. It got sent to me by the inventor. That's who you're dealing with there, Steve.
Bloody hell.
You got it, aren't
Still
you?
getting free shit.
My favourite app on this is that you just type in what you want it to say and it says it.
Carl has got a head like a fucking orange. The cunt.
Good that.
It's almost certainly what it was designed for.
I haven't seen that on the advert.
Has got a head like a fucking orange. The cunt.
That's great. She sounds like a Radio 4 news announcer.
So what is that for?
For doing that?
Karl has got a head like a fucking orange. The cunt.
Yeah.
Did I mention his round head?
Good. Right then, so,
I think I first became really excited by the World Cup that famous year when Maradona did the handball. Do you remember what was that, 1986?
Yeah.
Oh, that was so exciting. Because obviously he'd been so brilliant in that tournament, and then he did cheat, as we all know.
Yeah.
What do you make of that? Do you remember that moment, Carl?
Well,
At xfm.co.uk. That'll be coming up shortly. Try and get into the mindset of Karl Pilkington. A lot of people have been trying to email in answers, trying to think through kind of logically, or maybe based on the rules that they've picked up over the years.
Or when he says it critically, they believed him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you've just got to think more like a mentalist to try and get.
First of all, right, the prizes that I source every week.
Explain yourself.
What I said to you we're doing between now and Christmas, because it's just a few weeks till Christmas.
Right.
I thought I'd make up sort of family packs.
Okay.
That the winner can have something. Say like there's a nice U2 album in there, right? So the winner might want to keep that, but they can get rid of the Jerry yoga thing.
They can give Only Fools Nurses to Uncle.
To the dad.
To the dad, yeah. I think the mum would love the Terry Wogan.
Yeah. The
thing.
yoga for your sister.
Right.
Yeah.
And all that.
So that's what you thought through, was it, or was it that there was a load of junk in the office?
Or did you scoop them up with 2 arms and it's as much as you can carry down the corridor?
Yeah.
A little bit of that. But,
Yeah.
But
Okay.
that's me workings on why you've got all that.
Okay.
Brilliant, that's excellent.
Makes a lot of sense, yeah.
That's coming up.
And my mum sent some more.
What we also need
He's got a letter from his mum.
My mum did some more Rockbusters for us.
I reckon they're secretly listening, Carl. They've said they're not listening, but I reckon they are. Does that worry you?
Well, let's play a record and let's hear your mum's Rockbusters.
Better warranty.
Well done, mate. Well done.
Regulators.
I hope Nate's involved.
Nick Dobbs?
Yeah.
I hope so.
It's two. But you can't be in
Nirvana, you know you're right, on XFM 104.9. I had to meet the doctor for this fight thing in the week, and it's the one who's off Big Brother.
Psychiatrist?
Yeah, and but she's a medical doctor. She's sort of big in the boxing sort of world as well. And one of the tests, I had to do a punch test. The other test I had to do was to get in the bod pod. You know,
Really? The celebrity that's Fat Swallow?
Yeah.
And he wiped it down?
Yeah. And I was a little bit nervous. And
So what does this do? What exactly does it do?
what it does, you do a displacement sort of calibration with a known volume.
All right, just bear in mind that Carl's listening, so if you want to explain that.
What it does, Carl, is it works out your density.
Okay,
right?
again.
Through displacement, it knows how much what your volume is for the air displaced, right, in this thing. And
In layman's terms, what does it tell you?
it tells you. It knows what muscle weighs. It knows what fat weighs. It knows your average density of your skeleton, what height you are. So it works out from your volume and your density. It can work out, therefore, probably what percentage of that is muscle, fat, bone, etc.
What if you put in one of those?
Oh God.
No, go on then.
No, go on. What were you going to ask?
What would it do if you put in one of those pug dogs?
One of those what?
What do you mean? What would it do?
What, like on Ricky's lap?
Do you know those dogs that are all wrinkly and have got too much skin for the skeleton?
Yeah.
And it's all like caving in and folding over.
Yeah.
Would the machine go, well, we know what you are, so it's all right? Or would it say, oh, what's going on here? Do you know what I mean? Like last week when you were laughing
Why do you want to confuse machines? Do you remember when he put in Y to a computer search engine to try and confuse it? I love the fact I want the computer to come back, why not, and your head explode. I mean, I love the idea that you're trying to...
It's better than what I thought you were going to say, which is, what if you put a fly in there?
Well,
do you come back half man, half
fly in, yeah. But anyway...
So anyway, what percentage of you is muscle and what percentage of you is fat?
I'm 25% fat.
25% fat?
Yeah.
Now what's
most of me is muscle. Bone density in that. Rick Waller was 60% fat, which I've looked into it, and apparently is exactly the same as a pork scratching.
Wow, that's extraordinary.
So he is
yeah,
the equivalent of a 30-stone
giant pork
scratching. Yeah.
So is 20% fat, is that good or bad?
No, 20%'s all right. 25's over.
Right.
Men, healthy, fit, lean men, about 18, 20. I'm 25.
So you're a healthy, fit man?
No, 18, 20, I'm 25.
Oh, you're 25?
Yeah,
right.
So I'm 5% over. And a boxer that is in peak, with that, basically, you've seen the ones, they just look, like Bruce Lee. They're 8%. 8% fat. So,
is that good for you?
Well, I don't think it's that bad for you. I mean, you need a bit of fat.
Bruce Lee supposedly, there's so many rumours, I'm sure you're fascinated by them, Carl, conspiracy theories surrounding Bruce Lee's death. Yeah. One of which is that his body was at the peak of physical perfection. He had an aspirin because of a headache, and it reacted with his... Because just the impurities of the aspirin killed him.
Because it's sort of like quite interesting and a bit weird.
Yeah, that's fact. Well, are you aware of the fact that supposedly he actually cheated death, he actually faked his own death so he could work undercover for the Hong Kong police? Are you aware of it?
Yeah.
Do you believe that as well? Not so convinced.
I don't know.
Do you believe he could kill a man by putting all his energy into a trembling hand and touching him when every blood vessel burst?
Well, it's just another form of trickery, isn't it? I mean, you met up with Darren, didn't you?
Met up with Darren Brown, yeah.
Darren Brown.
Yeah, he's incredible. He's probably Britain's best illusionist, if you don't mind me saying.
Yeah.
You can put that on a poster if you want.
Tell you what, though, right? Changing the subject a bit. We were talking about a fly getting in that pod. Read in the week when I was searching for stuff to educate, the Educate Ricky section, which we will be.
Do you want to answer that phone? It's annoying me. Who's phoning?
I don't know. It's obviously someone who doesn't know that you're talking at the moment. So leave it.
Let's finish the point.
It could be.
Leave it.
It could be the head of.
Leave it.
Yeah, go on.
Could be the head of XFM.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so scared.
No. I won't embarrass him. I'm there going, don't call me when I'm working.
Nice. Right. Fighting against the machine. Yeah. Raging against the machine.
Right. We're talking about flies getting in a pod. And do you know, like how a Barbie doll, if it was real, it wouldn't be able to work? Do you know what I mean? A Barbie doll, if a woman had the
proportions,
she wouldn't be able to tie her shoelaces up and stuff because her legs are too long for her back and all that. Flies, scientists can't work out how they fly.
It's a bee.
It's a bee, not a fly.
No, a fly as well.
No.
A fly apparently its body is like too big for its wings, and they still can't work it out.
Yeah. Which in your mind says what? Something spooky.
They have worked it out, but it's the fact that what they do, the wing actually beats a ridiculous about 150 times a second, so it displaces air. Yeah. So they have. I know what you mean. It's incredible that it can fly because it's got such small wings.
Yeah. All right.
And it's a bee, not a fly.
Yeah, but other than that, good point.
Bowie.
Another classic. Be My Wife off the Low album, David Bowie.
David Bowie. It's cracking.
Be My Wife off a Low.
Very good indeed.
Yeah.
Wait, my frustration with the homeless?
Yeah.
They wind me up. I was walking through Soho last night. I saw a homeless fella reading a book.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this. If he's got the wherewithal to read a book, right, he's obviously, he wants to keep himself occupied, his mind educated.
Yeah.
My point is, why not, instead of reading a book, have a quick look through the job vacancies section of the Evening Standard, or maybe just take the time to fill in some kind of application form for, maybe,
a job or something. What you're confusing there was is the ability to read with the ability to house yourself.
Well, no, because what I'm saying is, it seems to me he's obviously got a certain, grasp psychologically of, his where.
They're not mental people who have
a lot of them are, Rick. I've seen them dancing and shouting and screaming, and pissing in doorways and stuff.
Yeah, again, you're confusing homelessness with trampiness.
Well, again,
some people just have left home and they haven't got a...
Gervais, I'm not a sociologist. No. Sorry if I can't spot all the clever distinctions that a trained expert such as yourself can. Well, all I know is there was a fella reading a book.
Well, you know the ones that have got beards and sing little tunes and they smell of piss.
They're my favourite.
Right? And they're drinking special brew. Yeah. That's an alcoholic tramp, right? You know the ones that sit with a dog or solving issue. They just haven't got their own place.
Right.
Do you see?
Okay. Well, again, I mean, because it is tricky finding the place, I know, because I had to move house recently, and it's a nightmare. I had to get, like, estate agents on it, and I had to go and see a load of places, and I was doing a job as well, you know, I still managed to fit it in. This guy's just lounging around on the street, so I'm surprised he can't find the time.
Loads of places to live.
I'm surprised he can't find the time to visit a couple of different residences. Because there's some pretty cheap ones, you know, if you go kind of a bit farther out of London. Maybe it's because he wants to live in the Soho area, and frankly, it's expensive.
What I'm confused about is the number of homeless people that recognise me and say they'll enjoy The Office. They've got to be watched it through Dixon's window.
I think that's probably demographic that's sort of hung over from some of your previous TV work.
The 11 o'clock show?
Yeah, you know, or stuff like that.
The ones that used to slip by.
Yeah, exactly.
Tramps and the French for me.
Exactly, yeah. Some of the weirdest. Or maybe sort of people who watched, you know, have watched the show and then have fallen on hard times since then, I don't know. And this is not necessarily linked. I mean,
I wouldn't have thought so. Carl's lost in this conversation. Carl, are we boring you then?
No, it's just, I don't know, it's a bit tight, isn't it?
What?
Because it's like, I sometimes think it could have been me. When I see homeless people and that, I just think, you know, I nearly killed a man once. It could have totally changed my life.
So, you want to slow down there. You just want to back up for a second. Just back up for a second.
No, like that time when I was in Wales, right, and I picked up a big piece of slate and chucked it off the cliff, right, and it nearly hit a fella. Right, in that split second, if he would have decided to sort of go and pick up a shell that was close to the sea, it could have hit him, and it would have killed him, and I wouldn't be sat here today. Do you know what I mean? So it's just all about luck, innit?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So, don't know, that's about it, really. That's
the point. That's the political.
What's the point again? That you're there for the grace of God's life.
Yeah, no, he's saying, you know, we should count our blessings because, you know, anything can happen. You never know what's around the corner. It's like if Karl hadn't met us, he'd still be in that little room making jingles. Now he is a respected household name.
Do you think he packed the book before he left home to become homeless? He thought, right, I need the clothes, we need the cigarettes, we need the dog and the piece of string, and I probably need some reading literature as well, because I'm going to get pretty bored, like just sitting in the street begging all day.
Maybe
I should take. I want to catch up on some of the stuff I haven't read, you know.
Or maybe it's one of those themed holidays. You know, those trendy middle class people. Right. They go on like the adventure holidays and danger holidays. Maybe the latest one amongst sort of like yuppie types is homeless holidays.
Exactly. Yeah.
They pay like £10,000.
Exactly.
And they really
get
the experience.
Sort of the streets of
and people come up to them and abuse them. They're all paid. They're all actors.
They get beaten up at night when they're sleeping under a bridge.
They get to try a really safe sort of form of heroin.
Sure. That sounds brilliant. No, that's worth marketing.
Themed holidays.
Themed holidays like that. You could have homeless. You could have like red boy holidays. Find out what it's like to be a red boy for 3 weeks. And make a little bit of money on the side.
They have to wean them off it. Exactly. At the end, they go, no, don't keep sucking it.
You can stop.
You're finished now. You're a bank manager again. I've just got the taste for it, to be honest.
Can that happen? No, it's worth knowing if that is a possibility.
Carl's worried. Well, we haven't said anything. We haven't said anything wrong, Carl. There's be no complaints. We haven't said anything. The word suck, as far as I can work out. No, it's not a banned word on the radio.
Is it Rockbusters time?
Okay. Yeah, Rockbusters.
Well, let's play a tune, then we'll come out with Rockbusters. Are we going to hear your mum's before we
best holiday I've ever had.
I'll get a taste for it. It's a new American band called My Morning Jacket from the Sweat Bees EP. That's called Lowdown.
Like that?
Yeah, nice.
It's good, yeah. I brought in some adverts, my favourite adverts to play.
Really?
Yeah, they're all new ones as well.
We got those now? Can we hear them?
Do you want to do them now or keep them listening to them later?
No, do them now.
Yeah.
Oh, there they are, good.
Ready? XFM.
XFM indeed, Steve.
Absolutely. Sorry, I just fiddling around here.
What are you looking at?
Well, I was just looking at some of the emails, and if I can find it, I got an absolute treat from you.
Go on.
Dickie Anderson.
Is he?
Anders, he's emailed in.
Richard Anderson, our biggest fan.
Biggest fan. He said, Dear Ricky, sorry for not tuning in recently, only I've been busy watching a puddle evaporate. Glad to hear you haven't tinkered with the show's winning formula by trying to introduce any quality into it. That's from Richard Anderson. So good to have Dickie Anderson listening again. Because he just keeps us on our toes, you know.
Yeah.
And good work, Rich. Thanks for that.
I wonder what he looks like.
Dickie Anderson?
Yeah.
I think he's a good-looking guy. For some reason, I've always imagined him as being slightly older, with maybe a beard.
Oh, no,
Do you know what I mean? Like
I think of him sort of cords and now and sweater.
Definitely cords.
I think he looks like maybe the Proclaimers.
Yeah, but
Right.
again with a beard or at least a moustache.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm seeing some kind of facial.
And
hair.
he's sort of like he likes the Cure and this and that, but he snarls at everything. He thinks everything's pure.
Yeah.
I bet he prefers Radio 5.
Do you think Radio 5?
Yeah. 5. Yeah. And 4.
I bet he's a real music snob as well. I bet there's certain bands, it's like rubbish. The Blazing Squad, rubbish. All pop music, rubbish. Britney Spears, rubbish.
Is this defamation of character?
He slagged you off enough times, Rick, and the show. I don't know.
And I'm only saying it's my opinion. I imagine. So
Yeah, I mean,
you
we
know.
don't know. I mean, he could be a lovely guy.
To be honest, I'm getting to like him.
What I like about Richard is he's willing to say what he thinks.
Well, it's more than that.
He's a bit like Eminem.
No, it's more than that. He actually hits on the truth too often for my liking.
Yeah, well,
I mean, this is a shoddy show with very, very little to offer.
You got to remember though, it is a bronze-winning show. We did win a bronze award at the Sonys last year. One of the most coveted of the awards.
Yeah.
Bronze.
In my opinion, the bronze is slightly better than the gold.
Well, a lot of people don't win the bronze, Rick. You got to remember that there's not many people who win the bronze.
Gold's got no intrinsic value. It's just a currency, and in my opinion, bronze is better.
Yeah.
In a way. Carl, Rockbusters, you know, Carl.
Yeah, no,
Listen.
we did get a bronze, but this year we introduced Rockbusters. Things will be changing. So,
Hey, we didn't introduce Rockbusters, Carl. Please don't tar us with that brush.
Yeah,
You introduced
and also,
it.
do you remember the show that got that bronze was the show with the complaint that was upheld by the radio authority?
Was it really?
Yeah, the show that got the award and was nominated was the one with the only upheld complaint we've ever had.
Do you think if we hadn't discussed that particular subject for quite as long, we could have got the silver?
I think it was the mention of, and I say this meaning male birds, of all the cocks.
Right.
Yeah. But do you think the Sony committee was going, I enjoyed the show, if they hadn't mentioned cocks, meaning birds,
Yeah, me birds, yeah.
I might have given it the silver.
Yeah.
So,
Can't get nervous.
Rockbusters then. Chance to win all that stuff Steve was talking about before. We give initials and a cryptic clue, and it's a band, and there's 3 of them, and you email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Yeah.
Right? Do you want some of my mums?
Well, I think before you give us your own, we should hear your mum's, just to sort of set the tone and for people to get their heads around the whole
She
idea.
sent some more, they're still not that up to scratch. First one, this group are nice on toast.
Marmalade?
Jam.
Yeah,
Which one?
jam.
Okay. Marmalade would have worked.
Marmite's just as good, yeah.
This man liked his wine.
This man liked his wine.
Dean Martin.
What?
So no cryptic clue, just a man who drinks.
Yeah. But like, isn't there like a myriad of rock stars,
I was
pop
thinking
stars who
it.
like booze?
I liked his wine!
I don't think anyone would have ever got that.
That's fantastic! This man liked his wine! Dean Martin. This man liked his golf. Clubby chip face? No, Bunker Smith. Bing Crosby, yeah. He liked his golf. Yeah, that's genius. This man liked his wine.
Just a couple more. Hope you're not speeding when you meet these. The police.
Oh, it's great!
And, any other good ones? Sounds like these lads work for the hospital.
The porters.
Say that again?
Sounds like these lads work for the hospital. Jerry and the pacemakers.
Right.
So we'll
Carl, I have to say, if there was ever, in the future, any doubt that you were your mother's son, that would pay that. Believe me, you're a chip off the old
Okay.
block.
Well, let's so we have a little record and then educated Ricky and Rockbusters.
So
When the
just
show
remind you, if I
really
can,
starts.
of the prizes. Jerry Halliwell's yoga video, DVD, I think it's the latest one in that particular series. So if you work yourself up to, you're looking pretty good, but there's still a little bit of flab maybe around the arse or breast area, then Jerry can help you right there.
Yeah.
We got Only Fools and Horses, this is the Christmas special from last year. Jonathan Ross was giving that one on his morning show this morning. I don't know if they're just trying to get
joking.
Top of the morning to you from Terry Wogan, that's his 2 CD.
I'm sure they were giving that away as
You've
well,
got the
yeah.
likes of Love Theme from Top Gun, obviously Take My Breath Away by Berlin, that's on there. What else we got? we've got the Pretenders, you mentioned them earlier. Alison Moyet's on there. Annie Lennox featuring Paul.
I still call her Alf.
Alf is on there. I'm talking of the meat variety, obviously. Miss Tina Turner on Silent Wings. There's an incredible selection there, perfect for saying mum or a deaf aunt. That's the Manic Street Preachers.
How's your aunt? Anyway, how's your aunt? The one who farted for 5 minutes, Carl.
Also got the U2.
It's not going that well.
What's up with her?
The best chill out album.
Is she alright?
She'll be alright.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So that's the prizes up for grabs.
So we're having two conversations there. I think we're a little bit too relaxed in this show.
Sure.
I mean, people tuning in will just think, do those three people know they're going out live, or is that a conversation like between the records? It's. Do you know what I mean?
It probably sounds like, the record is playing. We think the record is playing, and we're just chatting.
Oh dear. What we got, Carl? Carl. On form there.
Absolutely, it's a good tune.
Good. On XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant. Karl Pilkington, more importantly. Carl, come on then.
Right.
I need some education.
It's Rockbusters.
I know, but I need education. I need some education.
But we've promised the Rockbusters.
Educating Ricky, I will be ditching before Christmas.
Why?
It will be going.
Why? Because there's nothing out there.
It's just struggling. I was thinking on the way in today, I can either do doing something more with Steve, because we've done like the Ricky angle. Either we can do
educating Steve.
No, either like a bit of a call my bluff type thing, but it's like a con merchant, and I have to like trick you.
Okay.
Con merchant,
I'm the
I like
con
it.
and you're the merchant. And then, I was thinking something that you just do some work, and you have a moan for a bit, and that's that's like a wine merchant that you just like whine on about something.
Again,
the pattern comes first for you, doesn't it?
You've worked out that first.
Yeah.
That's like, I told you I've come up with a couple of sitcoms for me.
Go on.
One is I've got an imaginary navy called Merchant's Navy. I've got a navy in it. And the premise is I've got a navy.
Yeah.
And another one is I live in...
And that's as far as he's got as well.
Yeah, that's all I come up with. If you've got any ideas there, Carl, that would be much appreciated. Another one is I live in quite a salubrious part of North London, and that's called Merchant of Little Venice. And I live in Little Venice. Again, I don't know what happens. But any ideas, Carl?
I've got one where I play an Italian waiter, and it's called Shut Up, Gervais.
Yep.
That's
so that's the one we're working on now, actually, to follow up with The Office.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do something with that.
Yeah.
But at the moment, we've got Rockbusters.
Okay.
So these are mine. Number one, you've been dunking that for too long. That's LB. Right,
Oh God, that's too easy. That's too
I
easy.
always tease them, don't I? Give them something to make them feel like they're going to win something, and then I hit them hard with a tricky one.
That doesn't make sense. Yeah, go on.
So the first one, so that's the cryptic clue for a band or an artist. Their initials are LB, and the cryptic clue. You've been dunking that for too long.
Yeah.
So that's the first one. Second one, you won't be able to play that game in this pub because the table ain't big enough. Right? Could be an old artist, could be a new one, could be a band.
What's the initials?
FD. All right, FD. You won't be able to play that game in this pub. The table ain't big enough. And the final one, I've had a rubbish day, so I'm happy it's over. Right? That's the third cryptic clue, the initials being GK. Right?
Yeah.
Well, I've had a rubbish day, so I'm happy it's over. They're the three clues. All you got to do is email in ricky.gervais.
That's great. That's genius.
Which one?
The last one.
Right.
That is genius. That's the best one you've ever done.
Right. Ricky.gervais.
That's great. And then the middle one.
UK.
Okay.
Email in them three answers, you win the stuff. We have still got Educating Ricky.
Go on, let's have one.
No, I'll give you the titles.
Give me the titles, yeah, go on, yeah.
Right, you've got 3 bits of info that's gone on in the world, or
possibly
sort of information.
Older times. Never go further back than the 17th century, do we?
Well, no, let's make it clearer. There's 3 bits of information that people have put on the net. Whether or not they're true, different issue.
And that he still gets it a little bit wrong in translation, and sort of adds bits to it. Yeah, go on.
So we've got...
I love it when he plays out those historical dialogues. It's like the 15th century, but he goes, so anyway, a bloke says to himself, I'll tell you what I'll do.
So the horse isn't happy. Yeah, go on.
Right, so the 3 that you've got to pick from, you've got get your kit on, we're off down the butchers.
Yeah, let's get your kit on, we're off down the butchers, yeah?
We've got Wash Up With You.
Wash up with you.
Up with you! Yeah!
And the last one I couldn't really think of a good title for, so it's just, why don't they just get a diary or some paper or something?
Oh, play a record!
We've got to listen to a book. This has got to be a book made for Christmas.
God.
Chapter headings.
Oasis, Live Forever on XFM 104.9. Right, we're in the swing of things. It's mine and Steve's favourite bit of the whole show. This is what we do this show for now. Educating Ricky.
Yeah.
Go for it, Carl.
You said that learning can't be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go for the one... What's the one about the butcher, going down the butcher shop?
You've got get your kit on, we're off down the butcher's.
Yeah.
You going for that one?
Yeah.
Well, do you know the saying, don't let the cat out of the bag?
Yeah.
Do you know what it means?
Yeah, don't give away a secret.
Right. Well, do you know how it came about?
No.
Well, ages ago. Before...
Ages ago. 17th century?
Yeah, before, like...
Yeah, 17's good. Yeah.
Before, like, you know, proper butchers and Dewhursts and supermarkets and that, you used to get these blokes who sold meat. Right.
Butchers, they were called then, I think.
Yeah, but the difference was they didn't stay in the same place, they moved about. Right, so they'd turn up on a street corner, and he'd have, like, loads of carrier bags of, like...
Carrier bags?
Yeah, with meat in and that. And